So I'm a West Coast guy. I grew up in Reno, Nevada, Reno, Tahoe area. Beautiful, beautiful area. The biggest piece that translates to this, to business, and pretty much brought me to business as well as the military, is all the males in my Lee family, to me, had been in the military. My father was in the Navy as a submariner. My grandpa was a naval officer. My great uncle rushed the beach at D-Day and went all the way to Normandy. The Rhine River. My grandma's brothers were pilots, spent time in prison camps. So the difference between my upbringing and most Americans' upbringing, and I didn't realize how special it was the fact that at Thanksgiving, of course we watched football, but what we talked about and what I got to listen to as a young child and a young man was the military. Rushing the beach on D-Day, flying missions over Japan. That's hero. That's heroic. That's amazing. Football's fun. I played football. I love it. I love sports. But military leadership was ingrained in me. And with that, my grandpa and his brother, who ended up getting shot in the head on D-Day, floated in the water for an unknown amount of hours and was pulled in when one of the landing crafts came in to drop more troops. They saw him blow some bubbles and they ended up surviving. They started a business in Reno, Nevada called Lee Brothers Leasing. It was a small business in the used vehicle, new vehicle, equipment, and also an insurance company for a period of time. So my grandpa and his brother were great business people, and they were also in the right time of U.S. Business growth right after World War II. No excuse, the backbone of our country, that era. Amazing experience to come from. So I not only got the military leadership, I got so much small business leadership. So after school or after practice, I would end up going to my grandpa and my dad's business, and I would sit there with the finance person for 3 hours at their desk eating snacks or doing my homework. Or I would sit at the payroll person, or I would sit at the customer service person, or I would sit with the salespeople, or I would wash cars, so I grew up in small business. I just didn't realize how impactful it was. Each of the different business processes ended up likely babysitting me. And in the meantime, I learned a lot about what they were saying and what they were doing, and it also helped me develop the software downrange. So there were two things that really helped shape my life to where I am today. It was my family has always been in the military, and if I ever do have a son, I wish him the experience as well, because there's no better experience than serving the world under the U.S. flag. It grows you in every capacity. And then also just learning small business. Small business runs America. They empower and employ most of the U.S. population base. So without it, we wouldn't have this great U.S. economy. I couldn't be more proud as to where I'm at now, and a lot of that came from my, again, military background, heritage of my family, as well as what I learned in small business from the beginning as a young child.